I'm going to play now a clip that was going around after Yom Kippur of a Reform rabbi, a prominent Reform rabbi, I think in New York, who had what to say about his constituents, about his I forget his proteges, the younger generation of Reform Jews in America, and his disappointment with them. And we're going to comment a little about what he had to say and realize. I wish I could tell him this. So we're going to hear what he says. I'll play it for you. This is Rabbi Ammiel Hirsch, who's, by the way, when I say rabbi, I'm not saying he's legitimate smicha. I'm just using what they call him, so that you could find it for reference. Unfortunately, I don't think any Reform smicha is anywhere legitimate because they're making a joke of Judaism. And now let's hear what he had to say.
For your generation to turn your backs on our people.
This is right after, by the way, he had told his congregation, yes, we wanted you to be nice and woke and stand up for that tikkun olam nonsense that they believe in, do-gooderism, opposing genocide, but we didn't want you to go this far. It reminds me of those hippies who disappointed that their children ended up not listening to them. Their children were rebellious. So the child said, yeah, but Dad, you told us never trust authority. Don't listen to authority. So the hippie parents said, yeah, but we were talking about Nixon at the time, not us. Well, now you get what you deserve. The chickens go home to roost. Let's continue with the recording.
Not intend that our emphasis on tikkun olam, social repair, would lead some Jews to join anti-Israel demonstrations. We did not intend for American Jews to lead Passover Seder's in so-called liberated zones, liberated from Zionists, that violate not only university policies, but threaten the safety of Jew students. We did not intend to encourage or excuse Jews who burn American flags or support those who do. The supreme leader of Iran sent messages of support and thanks to students. We did not intend to strip all Jewish solidarity, empathy, responsibility, and mutuality from the Jewish identity of so many young American Jews, not only towards Israeli civilians, but soldiers your age who exhibit the most astonishing courage and remarkable self-sacrifice, many of whom have laid down their lives protecting our people in fates of enormous heroism. We thought that we were conveying the principles of...
Okay, so you get the idea of what he's saying. Great expression that's appropriate for here is the road to hell is paved with good intentions, of course. Rabbi, just because that's not what you intend, it's still, you have to know what you were actually doing. Okay, you're rebuking them. His congregation should be saying back to him. I actually saw reactions online about this. We were just taking his teachings to the logical conclusion. And by the way, it's kind of interesting that he would draw the line of anti-Zionism. Why'd that be the line? The second they start actually believing and taking his ideology to the logical conclusion, oh, but now they're anti-Zionists. Now it's irrational, emotional. He said that they were emotionally disturbed or whatever it was, emotionally unwell. So there you go. Perhaps maybe you're, he had mentioned that word, that the word they'd love saying, tikkun olam. When it came to him saying Avat Yisrael, was saying, I guess he had trouble actually saying that very phrase for whatever reason. They made their warped version of tikkun olam, which, by the way, many have pointed out is just leftism disguised with a little bit of folk Hebrew over here and there. He made that the end-all and be-all of their Judaism. And that was a problem. And he continued, by the way, I'll read this quote. I won't play it over here. To mourn the loss of life, dislocation, and misery of Palestinian civilians is a virtue. That is a real howler. Then that is his problem. He says it's a virtue to mourn their loss of life, dislocation, and misery of Palestinian civilians. So perhaps we should be stopping it. Perhaps we should be stopping Israel that's causing it. But more than that, I think it's utter nonsense what he's saying. It's foolish, and it's the opposite of a healthy Jewish reaction. And by the way, we should take joy in the dislocation and loss of in their misery. Why? Because they have turned themselves into Amalek, and their lives, their possession, their territory that they have illegally occupied until now should be given to those who are brave enough to fight them. It's very that it is the opposite of a moral statement to say something like this. Okay, it just goes to show you the reform movement is just nonsense. Okay, nonsense with funny talesim. It means absolutely nothing. And God should bring all these people back to his true service, and they should be repenting. And perhaps next time you want your children to stay Jewish, Don't be a reform rabbi.